Nothing, I'm not there. Very good morning, friends. So myself, Prabhat Bera, your chemistry research person. आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे from the beginning of structure of atom, and all of you must be knowing what is atom and how atom is different from molecule. Let's try to recall what is atom. Let me atom and molecule with compare kariba. The basic difference is atoms may or may not have independent existence, whereas molecules always do have independent existence. Okay, then suppose monoatomic gases, atomicity janicho. Atomicity means number of atoms present inside the molecule. So some monoatomic gases are there, like noble gases. So inside that molecule, single atoms are present. But then the O2 kaiva, H2, N2. So these are the polyatomic gases or diatomic gases. Similarly, CO2 triatomic. Then vapors of sulfur nova S8, phosphorus nova P4. These are octatomic or tetraatomic gases. Okay, that means that molecules always do have independent existence, whereas atoms may or may not have. Monoatomic gases are independent existence. And we already know that atoms are very, very small. Okay, atoms are very small particles. Even atoms cannot be seen through the microscope, compound microscope. Forget about the naked eye. We cannot see the atoms through the compound microscope. Well, atom ka dekhi pariba? Yes, we can do that. We can see the atom through electron microscope. Electron microscope has magnifying power almost 1 lakh times. So, setirame atom ko dekhi pariba. But through the compound microscope, even simple microscope, through the compound microscope, there magnifying power almost 500 times. So, setirame atom ko dekhi pariba. So, atom is very small. Atom is very, very small. Still, it's small. What is present inside the atom? What is present inside the atom? That is mean the structure of atom. I mean, atom is small. Study atom to study. But inside atom, what are the particles present? Study study structure of atom. History atom discover history. First, the concept of atom was given by Dalton, John Dalton, in the year almost 1803. So, atom discussion started. So, Dalton's atomic theory, history you should know how the development of structure of atom is there. So, 1803 Dalton's atomic theory postulates mention achi, but detail discuss already janicho or first chapter padithibo. So according to him, atom is very small, minute and indivisible particle. Try to understand. Atom is very small, minute and indivisible particle. Atom ka divide according to him. He kebe deythile 1803. Okay. So tapore a concept indivisibility or atom cannot be subdivided for the a concept almost 100 years further to maintain a grade. Challenge बुझी पार्लो 100 years पर्यंत कहीं ना आप जो नेक्स्ट डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एटम आसिला तो सेटा आसिला कैथोड रे एक्सपेरिमेंट रे आसिला ओके सो कैथोड रे एक्सपेरिमेंट जोटा को जाय इट इज डेवलप्ड ऑलमोस्ट नियर टू 1900 और 1898 चिंता कर 1803 ru 1898 or 1900 माने almost 100 years nobody has thought of the structure of atom कि जदि के भाबी थे सेते किछि सिग्निफिकेंट डेवलपमेंट हेइ नथिला. So significant development from the cathode ray experiment. So cathode ray experiment jana padla atom is no more indivisible. Atom can be subdivided. Atom can be subdivided. Tale ame aji jo topic kichi discuss kariba aji class re. So dita class jemti achi first class, second class. So before break we will discuss that is cathode ray experiment, then anode ray experiment, then Thompson's atom model. Okay. After the break, we'll discuss that is Rutherford's atom model or EMR. Okay. So let's start. this discovery of electron or cathode experiment. So you must have some idea regarding cathode experiments in your class 9. Okay. So I'm going to detail discuss kariba. So cathode discovery by the help of Crookes tube was taken. So Crookes tube is almost 30 centimeter length hard glass tube that is cylindrical shape. So inside that one vacuum pump was attached. You can see. Okay. So in the Crookes tube one vacuum pump was attached and it was connected to two metallic terminals. One this metal, this is also another metal. Okay. So this side it is negatively terminal that is named as cathode and this is positively terminal that is named as anode. Okay. Tale kon hela? The vacuum pump achi. So vacuum pump means it is going to make vacuum like condition inside the Crookes tube. 100% vacuum, but vacuum like condition. Pressure was reduced to almost 0.004 atm. Okay. That means very, very less. Almost vacuum like condition. So ame kon kaile na gote vacuum pump achi a Crookes tube re, then two metallic terminals achi, metals achi, au these are metal, and under this condition, under this vacuum like condition, the terminals are connected to a high voltage battery. High voltage battery, what is the potential difference? So it was about 10 kilovolt. Okay. It was about 10 kilovolt, 10 kV. I'm quite very well. It was about 10 kilovolt. Okay. I'm then domestic appliance use that is 220. I mean, India generally potential difference use 220. But ethi kona 10 kilovolt. Mane imagine high voltage. So under this condition, he found that, or he observed that some bright radiations which were originated from the negative terminal or from cathode side and moving towards the positive terminal or anode side. Okay. So under this condition, he found that some bright radiations which are originated, you can see from this, which are originated from the negative terminal or cathode side and moving towards the positive terminal or anode side. So this is what he observed. This is only the observation. So up to this, I think it is clear. So after this observation, then he found some properties which were shown by the cathode ray. Okay. So cathode ray ro kon properties thila. Properties देखिए cathode ray रो कौन थिला को cathode ray travel in straight line. So cathode rays are the light. The light. So what is the direction of the propagation? That is in a straight line. I'm going to prove whether it is traveling in a straight line or not. Now the must solid opaque object placed on the path of the cathode ray. If any solid opaque object is placed on the path of the cathode ray, a clear shadow was obtained. Since the clear shadow was obtained, it is proved that cathode rays were moving in a straight line. That is the very first properties. Then, cathode rays produce mechanical effect as they can rotate the wheel placed in their path. Then cathode ray then move karuchi. So if on the direction of on the path of the cathode ray, a paddle wheel, very small wheel, paddle wheel is placed then it starts rotating. Then it rotate karibo. Tale eta proof kon hela na cathode rays are associated with mechanical properties or these are associated with the material. Okay. Second point clear. Cathode rays consist of negatively charged particles known as jota ko pachare Thompson na deithile electron. So negative charge boli ame kemi janiba ta proof kemti kariba na jeta positive terminal negative terminal create kariba. Okay. So it has been observed that cathode rays were bent towards the positive terminal or positive side of the electric field. So the positive side is bent hochi, tamane kon hala, it is proved that these are associated with negatively charged particles. Next, cathode rays travel with high speed approaching that of speed of light. Okay. So speed of light, it is moving with very high speed. Cathode rays can cause fluorescence, means of a zinc sulfide screen, cathode ray or path rakhala, so it starts glowing. That means it makes the fluorescence effect. Cathode rays hit the object on which they fall due to transfer of kinetic energy to the object. Energy has to be conserved. So the cathode ray path re kichhi ame object rakhiba, so obviously energy transfer habo. So energy transfer habo, se kinetic energy koire convert heijibo, now that will be converted to the heat energy. Next, when cathode rays fall on solid such as copper, X-ray are produced. Cathode rays are used to produce X-ray also. Cathode rays possess ionizing power. What is the charge associated with cathode ray? The cathode rays are associated with a negatively charged particle. So, ame jadi one neutral object achi, sethi tame cathode ray pass kariba. Then kon habo? That object or that substance will be converted to negatively charged particle. Then cathode rays can ionize the medium. Jo medium is neutral medium re pass hobo, that is negatively charged kar dabo. Then cathode rays can ionize the medium. Okay. Next, the cathode rays produce scintillation on the photographic plate. Next, they can penetrate through thin metallic sheet. So the penetration power dekhiba, entering power dekhiba. So jo manakara mass kam thai, light particle thanti associated thanti, so those can easily penetrate. Tame jantibo alpha, beta, gamma. Okay. So gamma ray can easily penetrate as compared to beta, then as compared to alpha. Kahinki alpha mass adhika. So alpha mass adhika, size bhi adhika, se easily pass kari paribani. Joti ki beta electrons, beta means electrons, se easily pass kari paribani. Semti cathode ray bhi electrons achanti. Tale e kon karibo na it can easily pass through thin metallic foil, a sheet. The nature of these rays doesn't depend on the nature of the gas or the cathode material used in the discharge tube. Clearly, basic clarity asibo jodi cathode re anode to discuss kariba tanko vidare difference kon rahila. So ebe ame etika ekhil koi pariba kono na suppose ame jemti kaile it is not exactly vacuum, it is vacuum like condition. It is vacuum like condition, very low pressure. Then 10 to minus 3 millimeter mercury pressure thila. Sir evoli condition re kichi to gas thila cathode Crookes tube re jo kichi gas present thila Crookes tube re. Jodi ame suppose one student has taken oxygen gas, another has taken electron, another has taken hydrogen gas, another has taken nitrogen gas. So different gas jodi ame naba. So gas change kale medium re tale kon jo cathode ray brightness thila, so cathode ray brightness change hela. बुझी पारलो ता माने by changing the gas in the medium और जो हमें cathode और anode metallic plate नहीं थे ताकू जदे हम change करीबा तो suppose copper नवा और silver नवा और किसी other metal भी नहीं करीबा so से केस रे जो brightness of cathode रे change हैगा ता माने इट्ठो में कौन clearly indicate करूँगी ना clearly indicate करूँगी the particles associated in cathode rays are universal particles. Then हम जानते हैं universal particle and non-universal particle. Universal particle कौन ना universal particle माने से सबू केसर सेम रहेगा, सबू केसर सेम रहेगा. So universal particle को measure करिया पे ताको हमें निया जाए हम टिके पर discuss करीबा charge upon mass. Okay, E by M charge upon mass. So charge upon mass और ratio जब constant रहेगा, E by M ratio जब constant रहेगा, then that is universal particle. यदि E by M ratio constant न रहेगा, then that is non-universal particle. सो कैथोड रे जे कोन थिला ना यूनिवर्सल पार्टिकल थिला जब यूनिवर्सल पार्टिकल थिला तार कोन ना चार्ज अपन मास कांस्टेंट ही रहउथिला ओके चार्ज अपन मास कांस्टेंट ही रहउथिला तो सेटा में नेक्स्ट पॉइंट अछि E by m charge to mass for cathode rays was found to be the same that is the E kete charge of electron that is 1.6 into 10 to minus 19 coulomb and mass of electron 9.1 in 10 to minus 31 kg তাহলে E by m কেতে আসছে না minus 1.76 into 10 to the power 8 coulomb per gram so thus cathode rays are stream of electrons সেটা পছন্দ দেখালো cathode rays are stream of electron আর the name cathode or name electron যেটা দিয়েছে that was given by J.J. Thompson okay so students দেখতে পাচ্ছো then take 1 or 2 minutes quickly note down the postulates or sorry properties of cathode ray note कर दियो properties of cathode ray जैसे पता रहे who is the discoverer of electron ना J.J. Thompson I hope all of you are writing last 1 minute then हमें तापरे जीवा the anode ray experiment or discovery of the proton okay I hope समझते note कर लो तापर दीटा note रे point लिखा है when gas pressure in the discharge tube is 1 atm no electric current flows through the tube this is because gases are हम जानचे the gases are bad conductor of electricity हैला so जदि 1 atm रहियो means normal हमर atmosphere pressure रहिबो ताले किछि electricity flow हबनी the television picture tube is a cathode ray tube जोटा एबे तो सब अलगा आसीलानी in which a picture is produced due to fluorescence on the television screen coated with suitable material so eta tomaro जोटा old television picture tube thela सेटा में यूज करथले now come to anode ray experiment or discovery of the proton ताले हम जदि experimental setup देखिबा cathode ray experimental setup देखिले proof tube थिला so two metallic coil थिला जोटा में cathode और anode वाली name देथिले so what is the experimental set of difference between cathode ray and anode ray cathode ray anode ray भितर experimental set of difference कोन थिला फ्रेंड बुझ परलो the difference थिला instead of cathode it was taken the perforated cathode तो देख परथिबो हैला एटी perforated cathode means जे cathode तो metallic plate थिला सेठी different holes कराइथिला perforated cathode okay बाकी तमर जहा थिला सेम मेटालिक फॉइल रहिला नेगेटिव टर्मिनल पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल इलेक्ट्रॉन सॉरी माता बैटरी जो कनेक्ट हेतला इट वाज 10 केवी 10 किलोवाट बैटरी से कनेक्टेड सब एक्सपेरिमेंटल सेटअप रिमेनिंग आर द सेम तादे किछि डिफरेंस रथिला सो डिफरेंस थिला कोन डिफरेंस थिला एटा डिफरेंस थिला जोटा परफोरेटेड कैथोड थिला तले परफोरेटेड कैथोड काहे नियाला आ तमे जानछो को भी एक्सपेरिमेंट दैट इज नॉट ओवरनाइट सक्सेस सो बहुत थर ताकू ट्राई कला परे सो किछि ओडी रिजल्ट आसिया पुरु हमको बहुत थर ट्राई करिया पड़े किछि भी एक्सपेरिमेंट करिया सो एटी सेंट बहुत थर ट्राई कराइथिला सो परफोरेटेड कैथोड नेला परे एटा देखाला ना जोटा तमर कैथोड रे ओरिजिनेटेड होतिला फ्रॉम द नेगेटिव टर्मिनल एंड मूविंग टुवर्ड्स पॉजिटिव टर्मिनल सेतिर कि चेंज देलानी दैट वाज द सेम as per the earlier observation बट ता सहित आ गोटे डिफरेंट ऑब्जर्वेशन एटी ऑब्जर्व कराला डिफरेंट ऑब्जर्वेशन कोन थिला ना along with the cathode ray some radiations those were coming from the positive terminal or anode terminal and moving towards the cathode terminal बुझि परलो cathode रे जेमते origin होतला सादरे किछि चेंज हैला बट किछि तमा देखाला anode रे रु किछि रेडिएशन रिलीज हेके cathode को मूव करतला तबे तल प्रीवियस केस रे होतिला नाही बिल्कुल प्रीवियस केस रे होतिला मतलब काहे के देखि पार नथिले then compare करिबा the brightness of cathode ray and anode ray the brightness of cathode is much more as compared to the brightness of the anode ray तो cathode ray रो brightness अधिक रहइबो जेन हम सब sunlight under रे हमें torch देखिबा so it is not to be visible similarly cathode ray रो brightness बहुत अधिक थिला as compared to anode ray so जोथि पई तमरो cathode ray रो सामने रे anode ray visible होनथिला ताले visible केमिति हला जो परफोरेशन अछि परफोरेशन को पास करी गला परे ओके सो इट जिंक सल्फाइड स्क्रीन थिला सो इट ग्लोज द जिंक सल्फाइड स्क्रीन जोटा फ्लोरेसेंस इफेक्ट होछि बुझे पड़ला नाउ आई थिंक इट इज क्लियर ओके सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कैथोड रे एंड एनोड रे एक्सपेरिमेंट परफोरेटेड कैथोड ने आइतिला परफोरेटेड कैथोड रे आपरे कोन आइतिला नतले रेडिएशन थ्रू द परफोरेशन पास है कि बैक साइड ऑफ द कैथोड जिंक सल्फाइड स्क्रीन और फ्लोरेसेंस स्क्रीन रखा हितला then it starts glowing so it implies that along with the cathode anode rays were also originated okay student ठीक है गोटे मिनट टाइम दियो आपको मेंशन कर दियो परफोरेटेड कैथोड कथा क्विक टेक 1 minute टाइम एटा टिके परफोरेटेड कैथोड कथा मेंशन कर दियो then we'll discuss properties of the anode ray then note करछो a figure draw करछो okay acha now we'll discuss the properties of anode ray so जब देखिबा anode ray shows the similar properties okay anode ray shows the similar properties like the cathode ray on similar property first anode rays travel in a straight line proof केमति करे जेमति कहथिली solid opaque object जदि रखिबा on the path of the anode ray clear shadow obtain habo second anode rays are material anode rays are associated with material particle केमदा प्रूव करिबा जदि ओटे पैडल व्हील रखिबा on the path of the anode ray so it starts rotating anode rays are positively charged positive charge केमते हम प्रूव करिबा ना it is traveling towards the negative terminal of the electric field okay next anode rays may get deflected by external magnetic field आमे जानछे कोन ना anode rays रे आमे जानछे anode rays रे कोन थिला ना positive charge so any charged particle it may be negatively charged it may be positively charged if it is in motion any charged particle is in motion then it forms magnetic field यदि से मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जे बनेबो then it will be deflected in the magnetic field से cathode ray हो or anode ray हो, so it will be always deflected in the magnetic field. So this is the fourth point. Anode rays may get deflected by the external magnetic field. Next, anode rays also affect the photography plate. So anode rays also affect the photographic plate. Friends, so next is the E by M ratio of these rays is smaller than that of electron. एटा में detail discuss करिबा. E by M जोटा कहथिले charge upon mass कहा पर different रहइबो ना electron थरो एटा कम रहइबो. हैला. Another thing, जोटा major difference होची between cathode and anode ray. Major difference होची between cathode and anode ray कोन? By changing the gas in the medium. By changing the gas in the medium, in case of cathode ray, there was no change in the brightness. There was no change in the brightness. But for the anode ray, the brightness was changed. By changing the gas in the medium, the brightness was changed. The brightness change होतिला. ता माने कोन? The particles present in the anode ray are not the universal particle. Again repeating, the particles present in the anode ray are not the universal particle. Those are the non-universal particles. Okay. अच्छा. ताले इटा कहीं को होतिला? जब हम तको detail discuss करिवा. Anode rays रे, are you getting? Anode rays रे, the particles are not exactly the proton. Those are the charged particles. Suppose हम helium देले. So हमें release तो कहाँ करी परिया? Electron को करी परिया. कहीं की release करीबा? The electrons are present in the outermost part of the atom. So यदि गोटे helium atom लेले in the medium, so helium after releasing one electron कौन है जो He plus है जो. Helium after releasing two electrons कौन है जो He2 plus. एवं देखो student, इधर हम कहीं बा He plus and He2 plus. तब ना anode ray रे कौन रहेला He plus भी रही पर He2 plus भी रही पर वो. तब He plus नबा. तार E by M जहाँ होगा He2 plus नबा. E by M same होगा बिल्कुल same होगा. तब मैंने कौन हैला? The particles present in the anode ray are non-universal particles. तब मैंने E by M different रहेगा. The brightness भी change है जो. जब हम gas नबा different gas नबा सिटी brightness change है जो due to the different values of the E by M. Okay. So clear, friend. Next is ठीक है नोट कर दिया. As of electron both are same. Then it is different कौन रहेला? ना different रहेला. The protons are positively charged whereas electrons are negatively charged. But magnitude जो देखिबा that is always 1.6 into 10 to minus 19 coulomb. Then mass of proton केते? यदि हमें देखिबा rest mass of ताको rest mass कहा जाए. Rest mass of proton and rest mass of electron. So rest mass of proton is almost तारा range होची 1835 to 1845 times greater than that of electron. So आमे ताको generally 1837 mention होइचे कोटी को book रे 1840 दिया होइचे काहे कि ना आमे जंती कहले 1835 रे 1845 range रहेला तार average value कोन हेगला mean value कोन हेगला 1840. So rest mass of proton is approximately 1840 times heavier than the rest mass of electron. Okay, acha. So next है एटा तो मास रहिला सो देन मोलार मास ऑफ प्रोटॉन हम जन जानछे हाइड्रोजन रे गोटे ही प्रोटॉन अछि जदि हम तो मोलार मास कैलकुलेट करिबा the mass of one proton into Avogadro's number. So that is coming 1.008. That is mass of hydrogen. कहीं हाइड्रोजन गोटे प्रोटॉन अछि इलेक्ट्रॉन मास नेग्लिजिबल ताले ये सब तमरो किछि मेंशन कराई जे वॉल्यूम ऑफ प्रोटॉन जेमते अप्रोक्सीमेटली एटा कैलकुलेट कराई जे 1.5 into 10 to minus 38. ओके तो स्टूडेंट टिके आको प्रॉपर्टीज को मेंशन कर दियो समझे नोट कर दियो प्रॉपर्टीज को फटाफट take 2 minutes and note down. I hope समस्त नोट करछो okay so student any doubt you can ask next तो हम देखिबा डिस्कवरी ऑफ न्यूट्रॉन कैथोड रे आस्तिला 1898 एनोड रे आफ्टर a few years and the name proton এটা মনে রাখি দাও বেড়ে বেড়ে পচারে কিছু কিছু কম্পিটিটিভ एग्जाम পচার দিয়ে the name electron was given by J.J. Thompson and the name proton was given by Goldstein. Okay, the name proton was given by or discoverer of proton is Goldstein. Similarly, who is the discoverer of neutron? Now, James Chadwick. James Chadwick in the year 1932. So, pachara jibo, why it took more time to discover? Why it took more time to discover neutron? Because neutrons are neutral. Means these are not associated with any charge. If charge nahi, ताले तार किसी डिफ्लेक्शन होने थिला so सब जिन सब देखी कि तापरे बहुत पर सेटा इवन तमे जे देखियो हिस्ट्री ऑफ डेवलपमेंट रदरफोर्ड साटे मॉडल आसला ऑलमोस्ट 1913 देन बोर साटे मॉडल 1914 ये आसला इवन बोर साटे मॉडल रो पर ही आसला हैला तो जोटा तमे जानछो तो न्यूटन डिस्कवर बाय जेम्स चैडविक then the reason for late discovery is neutron is neutral. So neutron is slightly heavier than proton, that is 0.18, but mass is lekhuche mass of proton, mass of neutron and data approximately equal no 1.67 into 10 to the minus 27 kg. Okay, 1.675 into 10 to the minus 27, so approximately 1.67 nahi hoche. So specific charge of neutron is 0. kahin ki specific charge ban E by M ratio कहले. So E तथा 0 ही गला, so E by M भी 0 रहिबो. Density 1.5 in 10 to the minus 14 gram per centimeter cube, and 1 mole of electron is equal to almost the 1 mole of proton, 1.008 gram. Then neutron is heaviest among all fundamental particles present in an atom. Neutron is unstable particle, so it decays as follows. Okay, so आपको तमे डिटेल रे मॉडर्न फिजिक्स अछि क्लास 12 सिलेबस रे सिते डिटेल डिस्कस करिवो हैला. सो टेक 2 मिनिट्स ए सब पॉइंट किछि तमे नोट कर दियो. ओइ ए पॉइंट्स को किछि नोट कर दियो तमरो आगो कोड ना कोड काम रासियो. So I hope all of you are writing. So quick, then I'm able to next, that is Thompson's atomic model. Quick students. Completed? Okay. Now, some atomic terms, जोटा कि तमरो कामर आसीबो नोट कर दियो. Nucleate means various species of atom in general, that is हमें nucleate कहबा. Nuclear means it is the sum of subatomic particle. Nuclear means the sum of subatomic particle. It is consisting of both proton and neutron. Isotope jancho. Isotope, isobar and isotone. Isotope means same number of proton. Isobar means same number of same mass number. Isotone means same number of neutrons. So mass number jancho, it is the sum of protons and neutrons. Then isobar, isotone, isoelectronic, same number of electrons in the N2CO, Cn minus, or Cl minus, chloride, sulfide, then phosphide, P3 minus. So these are the, or argon. So these are the isoelectronic species. Okay. So then we are going to start the structure of atom or the models of atom. Okay. So student, एबे हमें discuss करथिले, first discuss कले Dalton's atomic theory, so which was discovered in the year 1898. 1803. So after that, after a long gap, almost a gap of 100 years, there was no development on the atom or structure of atom. So after discovery of Thompson's atomic model, or ही आस्थिला तमरो discovery of proton, but Thompson's atomic model पर्यंत proton discovery ही नथिला. So after discovery of the electron or cathode ray experiment, so it is clear है गला, the atom is no more indivisible. Atom is no more indivisible. Atom can be subdivided. So जेतले Thompson निजे electron ray माने name देइथिले. So Thompson को mind rate आसला, if atom is no more indivisible and in atom the negatively charged, that is electrons are present, then what will be the structure of the atom? So here the first person to give the structure of atom, although तांको model रे बहुत किछि limitations अछि, but हमें ताको model रो जो main तार application कोन ना ताको model पर ही structure of atom विषय रे किछि development हेइतिला. And you are the first person to explain the or to think about the structure of the atom. सेथवे हमें ताको model को पढुचे. So Thompson's atom model कोन करिथिले? Now atom is a sphere of positive charge. Atom as a whole is a sphere of positive charge in which the negatively charged particles, that is electrons, are embedded like plums in the pudding or seeds in the watermelon. जेमते हमें कहिचे जे रेजिन हो कि प्लम हो जोटा हमर यदि स्वीट डिश रे किरिए देखिबा जे ड्राई फ्रूट अछि कोठी अछि से कोठी रहि पारे, सरफेस रहि पारे, बॉटम रहि पारे, मिडिल कोठी रहि पारे. Similarly हमें देखिबा or in the watermelon, so seeds are present throughout the watermelon. एमती न ता center रहिबो कि गोटे particular जगह रहिबो, सब जगह रे scatter होई कि थाए. Similarly, according to J.J. Thompson, he told that electrons are embedded like plums in the pudding or seeds in the watermelon. तादरे किछि specific नथिला, हैला किछि specify नथिला, से कोठी भी disperse कि थिला. एटा देखि परिबो electrons present and it is as a whole it is positively charged sphere. So an atom is solid in solid of positive charge and its mass is uniformly distributed and in which the negative charge, that is electrons, are embedded like seed in a watermelon or plum in the pudding. So take a look here, student. Quickly note करो तापर हमें तार जिबा तार मेरिट कौन देन डिमेरिट कौन. So I hope all of you are writing. Okay. ताल जब हमें मेरिट देखिबा और डिमेरिट देखिबा. ओके एमदी न जे मेरिट नथिले तो हमें ताको केबे डिस्कस करि भी न थांदे. मेरिट नथिले काहे डिस्कस करथान किछ ना किछ तो मेरिट अछि. जेमते डाल्टन एटॉमिक थ्योरी कहैतला एटॉम इज न्यूट्रल and atom is indivisible. Atom is neutral and atom is indivisible. ताल तार मीनिंग हैला कोन atom neutral atom indivisible means atom किछि चार्ज ही नहीं. But Thompson's atom model for the first time explains that atom is neutral by consisting of equal positive and negative charges. By consisting of equal positive and negative charges. You are the first person to explain the neutrality of atom by consisting of equal positive and negative charges. It is a major merit of the Thompson's atom model. Demerit, he could not explain where the position of positive charge and where the position of negative charge. So, suppose scattered major demerit. That means he could not exactly give what the structure of atom is. तापर हम नेक्स्ट डेवलपमेंट आस्तिला रदरफोर्ड तापर बोर तापर समरफेल्ड तापर एबे हम जेटा फॉलो करते दैट इज क्वांटम मैकेनिकल मॉडल. हेलो पट्टा पूर्व हम डिस्कस करिबा रदरफोर्ड बोर देन समरफेल्ड एटॉमिक मॉडल. फ्रेंड ठीक अछि त लिखि दियो एटा. And he was the first person to explain atom is neutral by consisting of equal positive and negative charges. So that पचरा जीवो Rn E by M, Rn E by M of proton, neutron, beta minus beta particle and alpha particle. Solve this question. Rn E by M of proton, neutron, beta and alpha particle. Make it fast. E by M of proton, neutron, beta and alpha. I hope all of you are trying. Okay, see, if we charge देखिबा, charge जदि हमें proton or charge नबा, for the proton, if charge is E and mass, let it be M. And for neutron, the charge is 0, mass is M. And for beta particle or electron, the charge is E, mass is M upon 1840, or it becomes 1840 E by M. Our alpha particle is the mass E charge kete hobo 2E hobo, because alpha particles are nothing but He 24 double plus. That is doubly positive helium nucleus. ताले charge kete ला 2 unit, mass kete na 4 M. In alpha particle, 2 protons and 2 neutrons are there. So mass of proton, neutron both are almost same. Then mass of alpha particle is 4 times mass of the proton. ताले हम कंपेयर करिबा छोटे लोएस्ट का रहला न्यूट्रॉन हे गला आ हाईएस्ट का रहइबो इलेक्ट्रॉन और बीटा पार्टिकल सो हम कंपेयर जदी करिबा दिस इज बीटा देन प्रोटॉन देन अल्फा देन न्यूट्रॉन दिस इज द आंसर सो द माने आंसर ठीक रे मिली नथिला देन यू कैन नोट डाउन क्विक ओके आई होप समस्त नोट कर लो फटाफट so then we'll move further now तुम चाहिए कुछ क्वेश्चन नोट करि परिबो but these are simple question okay फटाफट एदी चारटा क्वेश्चन ट्राई करो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 to 5 जेतु ये कॉन्सेप्चुअल अछि आदर बहुत बेसी किछ एप्लीकेशन क्वेश्चन आसीबनी सो 1 to 5 क्वेश्चन ट्राई करो फटाफट 2 minutes तापर हम जिबा रदरफोर्ड स्टार्टिंग मॉडल कैन ट्राई करो now see fundamental particles present in the nucleus of an atom are neutron and proton b cathode rays were discovered by William Crookes then cathode rays are electrons cathode rays have mass and charge electron mass and charge cathode rays are made up of negatively charged particles okay so these are small questions then what is the charge of an electron so this is minus 1.6 10 to minus 19 coulomb Okay, so then we'll go to the next page. Okay. So next is Rutherford's atomic model. Next is Rutherford's atomic model. So हमें देखिए major demerit, major limitation present in the Thompson's atomic model was it could not distinguish the position of the negatively charged particle and the positively charged particle. Okay, so negative charge particle और positive charge particle तांको भितरे position से distinguish करि पार नथिले. And that was only the theoretical concept. तादरे से किसी ना experiment conduct करिथिले, only theoretical concept थिला जोटा तांकर assumption थिला after discovery of the electron. So next it was student. Okay, student, I will hand over these questions. More office and they will send the question to your nodal officer. तमे तो nodal officer अंठारु चाहिए collect करि परियो. Okay, मुझे question share कर देबे अछि. Now, if any doubt up to this, then you can write down. Now come to this Rutherford's model. So Rutherford model after failure of the Thompson's atomic model. After failure of the Thompson's atomic model. So how the experiment was performed? Rutherford already ticketed class 9. That is gold foil experiment. How the experiment was performed? Now he opted gold for his experiment. Acha, what is the reason behind opting the gold for the experiment? The mind as gold was cheaper at that time, of course, but other metal with the cheaper thibo. And gold is cheaper, nothing other metal with cheaper thibo. So that is not exactly the reason. Well, major reason is gold is the most malleable, one of the most malleable metal. ଆମେ ତାକୁ easily thin sheet ବନେଇ ପାରିବା. That is the first reason why gold was opted for the experiment. Second, gold is almost noble metal. से react करिबन easily. तादे किछि alpha particle, beta particle यदि pass करे से easily react करिबन. And third and another most prominent reason is gold possesses heavy nucleus. Gold possesses heavy nucleus. Okay, heavy nucleus रो तार reason कौन? Gold जगह हमें दे aluminum नवा तार कौन problem हो? Then they तुम जानसो through the gold foil thousands of alpha particles were passed. Alpha particles possess 4 units of mass. तार दीटा proton और दीटा neutron आज. And those are in high speed. Those are in high speed. So there is a particle high speed. So it must be associated with high momentum. If the momentum higher hobo, the heavy nucleus non hobo, then you can karibo na atom ru tar nucleus ko strike out karta. Atom tar nucleus ko strike out karta. ता माने हमर एक्सपेरिमेंट करे जो रीजन थिला सेटा हमको फुलफिल हबनी. जदे में कहि परिबा at the place of gold हमें जे एल्युमिनियम एटम नबा, एल्युमिनियम फॉइल नबा. ताले एक्सपेरिमेंट कोन हबो ना एल्युमिनियम रो न्यूक्लियस को अल्फा पार्टिकल रो हाई मोमेंटम में सेटा को स्ट्राइक आउट करता. ऑल्दो एल्युमिनियम मास 27 अछि बट आपकरे हाई मोमेंटम अछि, हाई स्पीड और हाई मोमेंटम अछि. बुझा पड़ला सेतमे हेवी मेटल आ जोटा के गोल्ड तीनटा रीजन हला हाई मैल्लेबल, हाईली मैल्लेबल. सेकंड कोन ना इट इज ऑलमोस्ट न्यूट्रल और नॉन रिएक्टिव मेटल. आ थर्ड रीजन कोन थिला ना थर्ड रीजन थिला इट इज कोन कहबा थर्ड रीजन थिला इट हैज हेवी न्यूक्लियस. ए तीनटा रीजन पे गोल्ड को ऑप्ट कराइथिला. Then how the alpha particles are obtained? Now, alpha particles are obtained from the radioactive source. है तो radioactive source cobalt हो कि तमें तमरा uranium हो any source from alpha particle को obtain करते हैं. So ଏଇଟା ହେଲା ତମର alpha particle ଆଉ gold foil ର ଦିଟାକ need ଥିଲା. So when thousands of alpha particles, ତ ଦେଖିପାରିବେ figure ରୁ, thousands of alpha particles are passed through the gold foil, then observation କଣ ଥିଲା? Now it is clearly indicating most of the alpha particles passed straight through the gold foil without any deflection. Most of the alpha particles pass straight through the atom or through the gold foil without any deflection. That is the very first. Second, some of them, most of straight pass out egale. Some of them are deflected from their own path. मतलब direction change करें. तामाने कौन? कहीं डायरेक्शन चेंज करें सेटा हम देखिबा. आमे खाली ऑब्जर्वेशन करते तापर हम तारो conclusion के छिबा. So most of them pass straight without any deflection. Some are deflected with certain angles. एटा देख पारथिबो. Then very few, maybe 1 in 10,000 or in some books 1 in 20,000 are even returned back of their own path. निजे path से return पळे आसीले. हैला retraced back of their own path. So तीनटा तारो कोन थिला? Observation थिला. Quickly तको नोट कर दियो गोटे मिनिट नै. Student quick. If anyone of you is facing any difficulty, ताले तमे chat box रे मते message करि परियो. I hope all of you are writing. Now come to conclusion. एटा हम कोन देखिबा. Now first observation thila, most of the alpha particles pass straight through the atom without or through the gold foil without any deflection. ता माने कोन कहि परिबा. Now inside atom maximum space is empty. Inside atom maximum space is empty. Right? So that is the first. Second, since alpha particles, that is positively charged particles, are deflected by certain angle, तार meaning कौन? तार reason कौन? नामे कहि परिबा ना alpha particles are associated with, आमे जानछे alpha particles are associated with positive charge. ये positive charge particle deflect होछि. ता माने in the atom in certain specific portion positively charged particles are present. In certain portion positively charged particles are present. Okay, एरा तार second जो तार observation रो ना तार explanation. Next, since very less are returned back, केतोले return back होबो जदि ता सामने रे किछोटी heavy particle थिबो जेता को आ heavy particle आउ same positively charged particle थिबो ताको से strike out करि परिबोनी. heavy particle अछि से return पळे आसी. ओके, जेन नामे तन फिजिक्स रे पढिथि जदि गोटे ट्रक heavy loaded ट्रक अछि गोटे बाइक जे टक्कर दबो से ट्रक रे किछ फरक होबनी. कोन होबो जो बाइक जे टक्कर दबो से रिटर्न पळे आसी सेम स्पीड रे बैक डायरेक्शन आसी. एठी जेमति आमे कोन कहले ना न्यूक्लियस हेवी थिला और से एट द न्यूक्लियस तो सेतल ना दिया थिला. सो एट द सेंटर heavy particles are present, heavy mass is present and positive charge भी सेटा थिला. सेतवे कोन हला rebound से पळे आसीला alpha particle. Okay, so after going through these three, atom is divided into two parts. One is nucleus, another is extra nuclear part. So atom, one is nucleus, another is extra nuclear part. I think it is clear. Nucleus and extra nuclear part. So what is present inside the nucleus and what is present in the extranuclear part? And he is the first person, Mandarapa. He is the first person to discover the nucleus. He is the first person to discover the nucleus. That's the now, almost all mass of the atom is concentrated in a very small portion of the atom that is known as the nucleus. The nucleus is positively charged according to him. Accept nucleus is positive charge in which almost all mass is concentrated. Okay, so that is the very first point. Second, now it is confined or it is present towards the center, and it is very small. Its volume is very small as compared to volume of the atom. এটা কোয়া যায় যদি আমি ক্রিকেট গ্রাউন্ড কো atom ବୋଲି ମାନିବା, କ୍ରିକେଟ ଗ୍ରାଉଣ୍ଡ ର ରେଡିୟସ କୁ atom ର ରେଡିୟସ ବୋଲି ମାନିବା, କ୍ରିକେଟ ବଲ ର ରେଡିୟସ କୁ ଆମେ ନ୍ୟୁକ୍ଲିୟସ ର ରେଡିୟସ ବୋଲି ମାନିବା। ତମେ ଇମାଜିନ କର atom is very small, atom ଭିତରେ ନ୍ୟୁକ୍ଲିୟସ କେତେ ସ୍ମଲ୍ ଅଛି, ତା କମ୍ପାରେଟିଭଲି କେତେ ସ୍ମଲ୍ ଅଛି, ତାର ନ୍ୟୁକ୍ଲିୟସ ଇଜ ଭେରି ସ୍ମଲ୍, ବଟ୍ ସବୁ ଯାକ ମାସ୍ ଅଛି ନ୍ୟୁକ୍ଲିୟସ, ସବୁ ମାସ୍ ଅଛି, ନ୍ୟୁକ୍ଲିୟସ ଇଜ ହେଭି ଡେନ୍ସିଟି, न्यूक्लियस has much higher density than atom. कहीं मास सब जगह रहला, वॉल्यूम कम रहला। ओके, त नेक्स्ट ये रहला तम न्यूक्लियस कथा। आउ न्यूक्लियस कौन कहै छी सब जगह मास अछि माने प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन दीटा देखो न्यूक्लियस रे अछि, एंड द सम ऑफ द नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन एंड न्यूट्रॉन नोन एज द मास नंबर। देन कम टू नेक्स्ट कौन अछि ना एक्स्ट्रा न्यूक्लियर पार्ट। सो व्हाट इज प्रेजेंट इन द एक्स्ट्रा न्यूक्लियर पार्ट? ना इन द एक्स्ट्रा न्यूक्लियर पार्ट व्हाट इज प्रेजेंट ना इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर प्रेजेंट। The electron केमती arrangement है extranuclear part रे ना electrons are arranged or electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular path known as the orbit. Orbit कथा orbiter name exactly stellar orbiter name Bohr साटे model दिया है। So ये कौन कहले electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular path। ताले जो revolve करूची अब किसी तो force थी वो जेता को control करूची। Yes, so force कौन? Now the force of attraction between the electron and the nucleus is responsible for revolving of the electron, or other words सेमती कहैतला centripetal force towards the center of the electron, sorry, centripetal force of the nucleus counterbalances the centrifugal force of the electron. Centripetal force of the nucleus counterbalances centrifugal force of the electron, for which electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So এটা তার কোন ছিল, এটা তার অ্যাপ্লিকেশন ছিল, মানে এটা কোয়াইছিল বাই রদারফোর্ড সার্কিট মডেল। তো স্টুডেন্ট টিকে টাইম নিও, এ পর্যন্ত মেনশন কর দিও, তারপর আমি তার লিমিটেশন কো ଯିବା। ফটাফট ରଦରଫୋର୍ଡ ସାର୍କିଟ ମଡେଲ ଟିକେ ନୋଟ କରିଦିଅ। ଏରେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ କିଛି କା ଡାଉଟ ଅଛି ରେଜ ୟୋର ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ। I think it is clear to all of you. Quickly note करो। Last 2 minutes. Okay. The left student. Before going to the defects, write in one question. Question is, if, right, if a radius of if a radius of the atom is 10 to the power minus 12 meter, this is the atom, and the nucleus is 10 to the power minus 15 meter. A radius of the atom is 10 to the minus 12 meter, whereas nucleus is 10 to the minus 15 meter. Then what is the percentage of the volume of the atom? Percentage of the volume of atom is occupied by the nucleus. Percent of volume of the atom is occupied by the nucleus. 2 minutes new, then we will discuss. What about try with the student? What about the radius of the atom is 10 to the minus 12 meter, whereas the radius of the nucleus is 10 to the minus 15 meter. Then what percentage of the volume of atom is occupied by the nucleus? Try with the samasya, student. So after discussing this question, a short break 15 minutes. Then after break, ଆମେ limitation of Rutherford certain model. After the next ଅଛି ଆପଣ discuss. ओके फ्रेंड कंप्लीट कर लो देन डिस्कस करिबा ओके ताल को तमे ऑलरेडी ज्योमेट्री रे पढी दिबो जे गोटे लार्ज स्फीयर रे गोटे स्मॉल स्फीयर रखी छे so what is the percentage of the volume occupied by the small sphere as compared to the large sphere ताले हम कोन लिखथिले ना volume of the small sphere divided by volume of the large sphere into 100 percentage थिले एटा हम कोन लिखिबा ना volume of nucleus divided by volume of atom into 100 tal ko nucleus ho ke atom ho those are present in the spherical shape so spherical shape means 4 by 3 pi into nucleus ala 10 to minus 15 cube divided by 4 by 3 pi 10 to minus 12 cube okay so 4 by 3 cancel ho gala so 10 to minus 15 divided by 10 to minus into 100 रहिबा percentage अछि minus 12 cube into 100 so this is 10 to the power eta ho minus 45 and this minus 9 into 100 or 10 to the minus 7 percentage this is the answer okay quickly note कर दियो तापरे हम ए शॉर्ट ब्रेक नवा आई होप समस्त नोट कर चलनी तो नोट करना फटाफट नोट कर दियो any doubt students ठीक है then you can take the break but log out करे दरकार नहीं stay here so after the break 15 minutes we'll again restart the class okay malleable metal जन स्टूडेंट पचारछ malleable metal नले हम thin sheet केमते बनेबा हमको thin sheet बनेबार अछि so thin sheet को को property को जाय to convert the substance into thin sheet that is malleability से malleable metal नबार अछि जदी पचारिबो ताले thin sheet रो भी यूज कोन अछि thin sheet रो यूज या जे alpha particle के हम देखिबार अछि ना जे whether the particles alpha particles are being passed or not passed सेउठे जदी सब पार्टिकल रिटर्न पळे आसीबे हम जदी थिन न नै गोटे थिक कॉइल नबा सब पार्टिकल रिटर्न पळे आसीबे ताले केमती तार प्रॉपर्टीज केमि जानिबा ओके Welcome back, students. In the first session, we have discussed cathode ray, anode ray, then discovery of the neutron, then I want to discuss Rutherford model. Now we are going to discuss the limitations of Rutherford model. Limitations of Rutherford model. তাহলে আমি Rutherford model তো নিউক্লিয়াস ডিসকভার করছিলাম তাহলে লিমিটেশন কোটা আসলে না লিমিটেশন ভেরি ফার্স্ট ওয়ান ইজ যে কোন কইছিলে না ইলেকট্রনস আর রিভলভিং around the nucleus in circular path, but he could not explain whether all the electrons are revolving in a single circular path or in more than one circular path. That is the very first limitation. So it did not explain the distribution of electron outside the nucleus. That means whether all the electrons are revolving in a single circular path or in more than one circular path. That is the first limitation. Second kono na he could not explain the stability of atom. Tale stability of atom ke explain kari pailen tar reason kono or meaning kono na jemti Thompson atom model re Rutherford atom model le kon kahitila na electrons are revolving due to the force of attraction of the nucleus on the electron, or centripetal force of the nucleus counterbalances the centrifugal force of the electron, for which the electrons are revolving. So after the Rutherford atom model, in classical physics, the scientist le Clerk Maxwell can prove that if any charged object, try to understand, if any charged object is revolving under the influence of another charged object, if any charged object is revolving under the influence of another charged object, then the revolving particle must emit energy continuously. Okay, then the revolving particle must emit energy continuously. If this is happening to the atom, ता माने एटी revolving particle की अच्छी electron अच्छी, so electron will emit energy continuously. So the electron energy emit करिवो continuously, ताले कौन हबो ना it will come closer to the nucleus. Obviously, nucleus with attraction रहिबो, it will come closer to the nucleus. If electrons are coming closer to the nucleus, ताले कौन हबो ना इनके उटे spiral path है जो. Okay, electron is present here, so it is taking the spiral path and it is coming closer to the nucleus, and finally it will drop into the nucleus. So the electron nucleus will drop over. What will be the fate of structure of the atom? Structure atom collapse हो. Now, this process अच्छी. A process हवाकू, it will take very small fraction of time, maybe in the range of 10 to -6 seconds. So if this is happening, then structure of atom must be collapsed. But we know that atom has well-developed structure. Since atom has well-developed structure, then the assumption se nahi thile, that must be incorrect. That must be wrong. Assumption kono na electrons are revolving around the nucleus due to the force of attraction of the nucleus on the electron. The assumption on thila, definitely wrong thila. Then aku remove kemti kara jibo the next model jota ki Bohr atom model sedan pache discuss kariya. So before going to Bohr atom model, हमें आउ किसी other concept अच्छे ताको हम discuss करियो. So first one is EMR, electromagnetic radiation. EMR or electromagnetic radiation, you can see it. Okay. So what do you mean by electromagnetic radiation? Let's do wave number. So in the wave, if we are considering any object here, okay, so at any point, if the electric field and magnetic field, at any point if the electric and magnetic field are mutually perpendicular to each other, यदि electric field ର direction a direction थिबो, magnetic field equal direction, ता माने electric and magnetic field रो यदि तारो कोन थिबो mutually perpendicular at any point in the wave, then that radiation is nothing but the electromagnetic radiation. That radiation is nothing but electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So light and other forms of radiant energy propagate without any medium in the space in the form of waves are known as electromagnetic radiation. These waves can be produced by a charged body moving in the magnetic field or magnet in the electric field. जब हम alpha, gamma, cosmic ray, so ordinary light सब हमें EMR form रे electromagnetic radiation form रे अच्छे. चल देखिए. So what are the characteristics of the electromagnetic radiation? So you can note down all electromagnetic radiation travel with the speed of light. So what is the speed of EMR? That is equal to speed of light 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. These consist of electric and magnetic fields component which oscillate in the direction perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to direction in which the wave is traveling. Wave ro jo travel jo direction achi au electric field magnetic field direction achi se mutually perpendicular. Then a wave is always characterized by the following 5 characteristics. एटी कौन हमें तो देखिए पैरामीटर जो वेव पैरामीटर बोल को जाए wavelength, frequency, then wave number, speed, and amplitude and time period. ये सब different तार parameters अच्छी. So ये तीनटा point आप note कर दियो characteristics से. Student quick. You can note it down from the screen. Then we'll discuss further. Note कर student. Any doubt? Write in the chat box. Okay, written. Good. Now, wavelength. So then, so this upper one, this part is known as crest. These are crest, and the depression, these are known as the trough. So then, the distance between any two conjugative crest or conjugative trough. So these are known as the wavelength. It is the distance between two conjugative crest or trough. That is wavelength. So the distance between two nearest crest or nearest trough is known as wavelength, denoted by lambda, and is measured in terms of centimeter, angstrom, micron, or nanometer. Okay. So हमें different unit रे. So हमें जानते length को यदि SI unit पचरा जीवो, that is always meter. But wavelength has very small value. So ताको meter रे measure न करे, हमें ताको कोई measure करिवा जोटा small value को measure करे जे nanometer, picometer, angstrom. So जेमते तमे देखि परिबो 1 angstrom is 10 to minus 10 meter or 10 to minus 8 centimeter. 1 micron 10 to minus 6 meter. 1 nanometer 10 to minus 9 meter. 1 centimeter. Okay, that is 10 to the power 8 angstrom. So बुझा पड़ला. So this is wavelength. That is the distance between two conjugative crest or troughs. Next, frequency. तमन सो FM सुनुथिबो. Okay. So FM रे suppose तुम को जीवो ओडे channel that is 91.1. आगु मन पकाओ. What is the unit written? देखिए FM channel that is megahertz. So that is 91.1 megahertz means it is the representation of the frequency. Frequency कौन? The number of cycles. यदि हम देखिए it is started from this point and up to this. Okay, this to this is one cycle. So if we are fixing this point through that point, how many cycles are passing in 1 second? Through that point, how many cycles are passing in 1 second? That is nothing but the frequency. The number of cycles per second is known as frequency. Number of cycles per second is known as frequency. Okay. अच्छा. ताहले कौन लिखा है? Defined as the number of waves which pass through a point in 1 second. It is denoted by the symbol nu. Okay. Nu, look for the symbol, and is expressed in terms of the cycles per second or this. Number of cycles that is unitless per second, that is 1 upon second. Okay, per second means that is 1 upon second. ताको हम हर्ट्ज बोली कहबा. Next, velocity तुम जानछो, speed or velocity. It is the distance covered in 1 second. And EMR ର speed ହେଲା 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second or 3 into 10 to the 10 centimeter per second. Next, the wave of higher frequency has a shorter wavelength while a wave of lower frequency has a, एटा हम डिस्कस करिबा. Then wave number, it is the reciprocal wavelength, that is the number of wavelength per centimeter. The number of wavelength per second रे or per centimeter रे केतेटा wavelength अछि, that is wave number. So it is denoted by nu bar and expressed in centimeter inverse or meter inverse. Amplitude, एमती amplitude ए चैप्टर रे तमर सेमती किछि दरकार हबनी. हेले एडवांस रे बेले बेले आसे जब तुम स्टडी द इक्वेशन, अदरवाइज तमर फिजिक्स रे दरकार हो. Amplitude कोन? That is the maximum distance from the mean position. Maximum distance रखे तो बेटर होबो डिस्प्लेसमेंट कहि परिबा. It is the maximum displacement from the mean position. Okay, so mean position जदि maximum height रहइबो और तमरो ड्रॉप को जति डिस्टेंस रहइबो और डिस्प्लेसमेंट रहइबो. So it is defined as the height or of the crest or depth of the trough of wave. It is denoted by the letter A and it determines the intensity of the radiation. So arrangement after हम देखिबा ताको जे relationship कोन अछि. So student take some time. Frequency, wavelength, wave number and amplitude. आगुटे note कर दियो. Take some time. Quick. नोट कर समझते हैं. यदि कार किसी डाउट अछि राइट इन द चैट बॉक्स. नोट करो फ्रीक्वेंसी, वेलोसिटी, वेव नंबर एंड एम्पलीट्यूड. फटाफट नोट करो। Last 1 minute. Okay. Complete. Good. Now we'll see what is the relationship between this. Student आपको ए ऑर्डर तुम मन रखिया पड़िबो, वैल्यू मन न रखिले चलिबो। जो देखिबा हाईएस्ट वेवलेंथ इज by the radio waves and the lowest wavelength is by the cosmic rays. Okay. I mean order in the मन रखिबा wavelength decreasing order देखिबा radio wave, then microwave, IR, visible, UV, X-ray, gamma ray and cosmic rays. Cosmic rays are associated with the highest energy. Got it? Cosmic rays are associated with highest energy, whereas long radio waves or radio waves are associated with highest wavelength. हमको जल्दी फटाफट कुछ ऑर्डर लिखी दियो और सेपटे सोर्स भी सोर्स न लिखले चले खाली ऑर्डरटा लिखि दियो। रेडियो वेव माने डिक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर खाली ऑर्डर मन रखो, वेवलेंथ मन न रखले चलिबो। आउ हम एठी देखिबा एटा नोट करसा तापर हम कहूची। ओके। The wavelength of visible radiation. So it is approximately 3,800 angstrom to 7,500 angstrom. It is approximately 3,800 angstrom to 7,500 angstrom. Okay. Now the relationship. Lambda wavelength is inversely proportional to nu. Wavelength is inversely proportional to nu, or lambda equal to c by nu or v upon nu. Why c by nu or v by nu? If it is EMR, electromagnetic radiation, ताले से केसर कौन होगा c by nu होगा। सबु बले गोटे वेव माने EMR होगा जरूरी अछि कि जरूरी नहीं। यदि any other wave होगा ताले सेटा कौन होगा v by nu. Okay. Next, nu bar that is equal to 1 by lambda. Nu bar that is equal to 1 by lambda. और हमें nu लिख परिबा nu equal to c by lambda और c into nu bar. Nu equal to c into nu bar. सबको ठीक है, फिर नोट कर दिया। अब विजुअल रेडिएशन वेवलेंथ को हमको मन रखिया पड़िबो। को 4000 angstrom रू 7600 angstrom देछि, so closer to this. Then we'll discuss some questions from electromagnetic radiation. Note करना. Okay. Now, question लिखो. Calculate the lambda associated with the radiation which emits 5 into 10 to the 6 waves in 2 minutes. Also, calculate the frequency. Second, what is the frequency and wave number associated with visible radiation of wavelength visual radiation of wavelength 5000 angstrom. 5000 angstrom. And third question, a person is present at a distance of 400 kilometers from the broadcasting station. From the broadcasting station. He tuned on the channel 104 megahertz. How long it will take him to listen the program. Okay. Then what is the speed of light? All of you know, speed of light is 3 into 10 to the 8 meter per second, and speed of sound 342 approximately. Normal humidity condition with 342 meter per second. ये तीनटा क्वेश्चन लिखो 5 मिनट टाइम नियो solve these three questions. After solving this आमे तापर जीवा next Planck's quantum theory. फटाफट स्टूडेंट take 5 minutes. 5 minutes से solve करो. तीनटा का साथ try करो. जदि कहार कोटे न होउची तादे किछि ओरी हबर नै आमे डिस्कस करियो. We will discuss all the three questions. Students, quick. I hope all of you are trying, students. तो जब हमारा complete होगा, write in the chat box. Okay. Student, raise your hand. How many of you have completed question number 1? How many of you have tried question number 1? Write in the chat box. Calculation take time lagyo. Okay. No worry. Question number 2. How many of you have tried? Okay, complete it. ठीक है. Take your own time. Quick. Okay. Consolidation completed. Okay. We'll discuss all the questions. But before that, तमन थोड़े try करो. और देखो discuss वाला तो जानी पड़ियो तो मैं exactly कोटी like करता. I'll discuss all the 3 questions. But before that, all of you have to try it once. Take your time here, but try करो. Can raise your hand or write in the chat box exactly how many of you tried. Okay, तीन क्वेश्चन ट्राई करना. थर्ड क्वेश्चन मैं हिंट दे परिबी. From the broadcasting station हम किछि भी रेडिएशन जोटा जाए, that is always in the form of EMR, electromagnetic radiation. हम जो ट्रांजिस्टर घर अछि और रेडियो अछि, so that converts the EMR, electromagnetic radiation, into the sound wave. Okay, that converts the EMR into the sound wave. So this is the hint to the third question. एवं try कर परियो. एक टाइम लो solve करो. Then we'll discuss all the three questions. Quick. Then how many have tried? A calculation अच्छी. Still कैसे try करछो? Write in the chat box. Okay, one student has written. Tried. Okay, good. What about other students? Okay. चल देखो first question देखिए. Calculate wavelength associated with the radiation which emits 5 into 10 to the power 6 waves in 2 minutes. Tale, what is the number of waves? 5 into 10 to the 6. Time 2 minutes. So in the first question, what is frequency? Number of waves divided by time in second. So 5 into 10 to the power 6 divided by time है 2 into 60. So 5 by 12 into 10 to the power 5. And it is second inverse or hertz बोली कही परिबा. Okay. बाकी तो solve करी परिबो. 5 by 12. So what will be the exact value? It is 0.42 into 10 to the power 5 hertz or 4.2 into 10 to the power 4 hertz. This is new. So lambda equal to C by nu. So 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by nu keta achi 4.2 into 10 to the power 4. So 3 upon 4.2 into 10 to the power 4. So unit कौन होगा meter और exact value कितना आछि 0.71 into 10 to the 4 or 7.1 into 10 to the power 3 meter. It's the first question. So the one solve na kartile student quickly note kar diyo. Then we'll move to the second question. Noted? Come to the second question. What is the frequency and wave number associated with the visual radiation of wavelength 5000 angstrom? In the second question, lambda is 5000 angstrom or 5000 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter or 5 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter. This is lambda. Then what is wave number? Nu bar 1 by lambda, that is 1 upon 5 into 10 to the power minus 7. So 1 by 5 into 10 to the power 7 or 0.2 hover 2 into 10 to the power 6 meter inverse. This is nu bar. Then what else? Nu equal to C by lambda. So 3 into 10 to the power 8. And what is the value of lambda? 5 into 10 to the power minus 7. 3 by 5 into 10 to the power 15, or this will be 6 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. Quickly note कर दियो. तापर हमें जीवा थर्ड क्वेश्चन को. Fast. Complete elephant. Shall we discuss the third question now? Now come to the third question. A person is present at a distance of 400 km from the broadcasting station. Okay. So the frequency is 104 or distance is 400 km. Distance is 400 km. Okay, completed. Next. So time pacharchi. We know speed equal to distance upon time, or time equal to distance upon speed. So what is the distance? 400 kilometer. That is 400 into 10 to the 3 meter. Speed. With which speed the radio waves are traveling? Those are traveling with the speed of light. That is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So we have 4 by 3 into 10 to the power 5 minus 8, or 1.33 into 10 to the minus 3 second. In the range 10 to the minus 3 second, immediately we on immediately program suni pariba, or TV use करछे TV रे EMR कम आसुची, so आमे तक immediately program देखि परिबा हैला. सेतबे आमे देखि तो मेलबोर्न रे क्रिकेट मैच हेले आमे immediately आमे से instantly देखि परछे ना नहीं, और Olympics any other country हेला आमे instantly देखि परछे काहेकि, because these are moving with the speed of EMR or 3 into 10 to the 8 meter per second. Okay, चले आपको नोट कर दिया स्टूडेंट. तापर हमें अबे डिस्कस करिवा the next Planck's quantum theory. So that will be the last topic for today's class, Planck's quantum theory. Complete. Okay. So next we are going to discuss Planck's quantum theory. So this concept came in the year 1900. Planck's quantum theory was discussed in the year 1900. So you can read from the screen. Max Planck in 1900 to explain the phenomenon of black body radiation and photoelectric effect gave the quantum theory. Okay, and this theory was extended by Einstein. Although Einstein has many contributions towards the science, but he was awarded the Nobel Prize. He was awarded with the Nobel Prize for his contribution and for his explanation towards photoelectric effect. Einstein was awarded the Nobel Prize for theory of relativity. Theory of relativity famous theory, but the Nobel Prize that is for the explanation of photoelectric effect. So Planck's quantum theory. Then, if the substance being heated is a black body, which is a perfect absorber and perfect radiator of energy, the radiation emitted is called black body radiation. जोटा ओरे अलगा concept है, जोटा mainly chemistry एते black body radiation रा use नहीं, और physics modern physics जोटा कहली class 12 syllabus रे detail रे पढ़बो. Now come to the postulates coming under Planck's quantum theory. Planck's quantum theory कौन कहूची ना anybody emits or absorbs energy. Anybody emits or absorbs energy discontinuously in the form of small packets. Again repeating, anybody emits or absorbs energy discontinuously in the form of small packets known as quantum. Special quantum kono? The quantums are the discrete particles which are emitted by the object discontinuously. So quantum is in general, that is the general form of energy. So the light देखिवा, for light quantum corresponds to photon. Again repeating, for light quantum corresponds to photons. That is the second postulate. So in case of light, the quantum is photon. Now I'm just going these are the bundles or discrete packets of energy. The bundle of packets of energy rahila. All the packets must be associated with certain amount of energy. More the number of waves, more is the energy. More the number of waves, more is the frequency. So what is the relationship between frequency and energy? Frequency and energy both are directly proportional to each other. So third point, the energy of each quantum is directly proportional to frequency of the radiation. So E proportional to nu or E equal to H into nu. So nu call likhiba lambda, E equal to Hc upon lambda. Okay. So what is H? Obviously Planck's quantum theory mane Planck's na rahi thibo. So that is Planck's constant. What is the value of H? That is 6.625 or 6.62 into 10 to the minus 27 or into second or minus 34 joule into second. Next, the total amount of energy emitted or absorbed by a body will be the sum whole number quanta. Quantum is always represented as the whole number multiple of h nu. Quantum is always represented as the whole number multiple of h nu. Quantum in fraction is not possible. I mean, 3.5 quantum or 8.1 quantum. So सबोले कौन रहेगा ना whole number multiple से रहेगा. Next, so greater the frequency, greater the energy of radiation. जोटा रहिला. अब मान रखिता energy is additive in nature, not the wavelength. Energy is additive in nature, not the wavelength. So ये पर्यंत तमें note कर दियो. ठीक है time नियो. So note down the postulates. Then we'll discuss some questions from Planck's quantum theory. Numericals. Make it fast. Note कर साला परे. Write in the chat box. I have all of the writing. Fast करो. So all of the writing. If anyone has completed, write in the chat box. Quick. Okay, whole number quanta. Okay. जब मैं कौन कहले ना लिखा है fourth point. The amount of energy emitted or absorbed by a body will be whole number quanta. Means that is always represented in the form of whole number. I will लिखा E equal to N H nu थी first. E proportional to nu or E equal to H nu. So H is Planck's constant. So ଯଦି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଖାଲି ସବୁବେଳେ ଗୋଟିଏ ତ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟା ରହିବନି କି ଗୋଟିଏ ଫୋଟନ ତ ରହିବନି so number of quanta ହେଇପାରିବ so that E equal to NH nu. So what is the value of N? N is the whole number. The value of N is whole number. ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଏମିତି ଲେଖିପାରିବା 100 quanta 108 quanta or 51 quanta or 3.5 into 10 to the 8 quanta. So it will ଲେଖିପାରିବା but ଆମେ ଏଇଟା ଲେଖିପାରିବାନି 3.5 quanta 105.2 quanta. So in fraction, the number of quanta is not possible. That is always represented in the form of whole number multiple. बुझा पड़ला स्टूडेंट जे पचार थिला स्टूडेंट क्लियर okay good and then तमे ना display name रे 01 लिखिछो so it will be better if you are coming with a real name एतरे कोन हबो ना ताको हमें इजीली हम नाम रे हमें डाकी परिबा okay now come to discuss some questions. Calculate the number of wait it may be visible how not calculate the number of quanta associated with the radiation of 2 joule energy and wavelength of 4000 angstrom. Second, next question. A body emits 8 into 10 to the 8 number of irradiations in 5 minutes. Calculate energy associated with it. okay, associated with it. Next, what is the ratio of the wavelength for the radiation R1 to R2 if E1 is 5 E2. Energy associated with the radiation 1, E1, and radiation 2, that is E2. So relation between E1 and E2, E1 equal to 5 E2. फटाफट ये तीनटा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो, देन विल डिस्कस. तुम आगे ट्राई करो. First, solve करছো. जल्दी सॉल्व करो. सॉल्व करছো. তুই last 2 minutes, friends. तो डिस्कस करिबा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन calculate the number of quanta associated with the radiation of 2 joule energy and wavelength 4000 okay समझन से E equal to h nu or hc by lambda E equal to h nu or hc by lambda okay so it n होगा why because number of quanta पचारछि তাহলে আমি তাকে লিখিবা দি number of quanta पचारछि we have to write the formula n h nu or n hc by lambda so n equal to e lambda upon h into c e is 2 lambda 4000 2 joule and 4000 angstrom correct 4000 angstrom means 10 to the power minus 10 divided by h 3 into 10 to the 8 ac h kete 6.625 into 10 to the minus 34 so we can rearrange it as 8 into 10 to the power minus 7 divided by 3 into 6.626 into 10 to the power ये कितना होगा 34 minus 34 plus 8 so minus 26 ताले आर वैल्यू एसिबो हम तो कैलकुलेट कर परिबो it is 0.4 into 10 to the power 19 or 4 into 10 to the power 18 note कर दियो number of quanta this is the answer for first question फटाफट सॉल्व करा स्टूडेंट आंसर लिखो तापर हम जीवा सेकंड नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन को noted next question a body emits 8 into 10 to 8 number of radiations in 5 minutes the number cycle 8 into 10 to 8 time is 5 seconds calculate energy पहले new 8 into 10 to 8 divided by 5 into 60 5 into 60 that is 8 upon 3 into 10 to the power 6 this is new अच्छा हम तो सॉल्व करिया ना e पचारछि e equal to h into new so 6.626 into 10 to the minus 34 into 8 by 3 okay তাহলে আমরা দেখবা কো ये আসবে approximately 2.2 2.2 into 8 17.6 into 10 to the power minus 28 or 1.76 into 10 to the minus 27 joule or minus 20 or I would मान रखी the unit of energy another unit of energy is electron volt 1 electron volt is what is the charge of an electron 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 that is joule 1 electron volt sometimes option है तुम्हारे electron volt देखिए so 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 joule मान रखिए भाई charge of an electron volt means charge of an electron joule note कर दिया Complete? Okay, done. And the last one. What is the ratio of wavelength for R1 to R2? That is lambda 1 to lambda 2, E1 equal to 5 E2. Okay. So, कौन लिखवा? E equal to H nu or Hc by lambda. So H is constant and C is also constant. E is inversely proportional to wavelength, or E1 by E2 equal to lambda 2 by lambda 1. এটি পচারছি lambda 1 by lambda 2 পচারছি ratio. So that is E2 upon E1. E2 কেতে 5 E1 upon E1, that is 5. ହେଲା তাহলে lambda 1 is to lambda 2, that is 5 is to 1. 5 is to 1. नोट कर दिया. Note down. Okay, friend, noted. Let us recap the topics that we have discussed today. First time start kale cathode ray, then anode ray, properties of cathode ray as well as properties of anode ray, discovery of the neutron, then Thompson certain model, Rutherford certain model, electromagnetic radiation, and we have finished today's class with the discussion of Planck's quantum theory. Okay, along with some numericals. Student, up to this, if you have any doubt, then write in the chat box. Any topic आज जहाँ class में discuss करचे, or if I think someone has written, okay, welcome student. And if you do not have any doubt, then you can leave the class. If any doubt, write in the chat box. I'm waiting.
Dear student, now you can leave the class.